They run but they cannot hide. When you need to hold the line, when you need to rain down hell, there's only one choice. You need the M240 light machine gun. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are forging the most oppressive high damage loadout for the M240 Bravo in Battlefield 6. Forget fast reloading, we are min-maxing range, recoil control and sheer volume of fire. Get ready for a build that guarantees you will be the last one shooting. The guide starts now. M240 Bravo excels at close to medium range. A clear one-time scope like the Mini Flex was just enough for me to provide me the perfect modification to land consistent headshots and chest shots before damage drop-off, without being too clumsy in close quarters. If you prefer to sit a bit more further back, then the thermal scope 3 times is also a consideration, and I have left just enough room in this build for you to consider putting the thermal scope on without having to replace any other attachments. As we mentioned, the strength of this weapon is in close range because it kills in 3 bullets, so it's basically the big brother of the TR7. Because of this, we want to run a laser, and the 50 WM green laser is the best pick here. The other lasers are also a consideration, but they all cost more weight and basically give the same hip fire as this laser, so stick with this one would be my advice. M240 Bravo is an extremely versatile light machine gun when it comes down to muzzle attachments. You can basically put here whatever you want. I leave the pick to you. I played with the flash hider, I tried the suppressor, and I tried the 2 available brakes, and it felt good on all of them. So pick here as you wish. However, I still recommend that if you don't want to be spotted all the time, then equip the flash hider or the suppressor. Our barrel of choice is gonna be the 24 Bravo barrel here. Improves firing accuracy over extended periods and increased projectile velocity. This is basically perfect for our LMG. The M240 Bravo's primary weakness is heavy vertical recoil. This is why I decided to go with the alloy vertical grip. All the other grips here are also a solid consideration, but all of them have negatives on them. However, if you want to run a bit more mobile build of M240 Bravo, then slim angled is also a consideration. However, it has a little bit less recoil control than the alloy vertical. I have played with it as well, it is very good, so you can switch on the fly as you wish. Massive ammo capacity is this light machine gun's identity. They all cost very low weight. It's 10 weight for the 75 round and it's 25 weight for the big 100 round, which will allow us to wipe multiple squads without having to reload. It is essential for objective control. The reason I decided to go for the 75 round bell box is that it says here high capacity bell box that improves weapon draw speed and aim down sight accuracy while moving. This is essential for us. We will be moving a lot because we will be playing in CQB and mid range. The 100 round bell box is also a consideration and it actually reduces weapon reload speed, but for some reason our weapon reload speed is bugged, so I cannot tell how much it's gonna reduce it. But the reload speed of this gun is around 5 to 6 seconds with the 75 round mag, so I'm assuming it's gonna be around the same with the big box magazine. But the big box magazine does not give us that movement accuracy while ADS as the 75 round bell box does. This is why I decided to stick with the 75 round bell box. However, just like with the thermal scope, I have left just enough weight in this build so you can actually equip the 100 round bell box if you so wish, which will put you at maximum 100 weight without having to sacrifice any other attachment in this build. Our bullet type is gonna be the standard ammunition, but you can also run penetration, hollow point or frangible, and you will have enough slots to actually fit this into this build with my build. However, this weapon, as we mentioned, has very heavy vertical recoil, so landing headshot is not gonna be as easy with it, which is why I decided to stick with the standard ammunition. Now let's hop in game and see how M240 Bravo performs with this build. This gun is an absolute menace on close quarter range. 3 BTK for a light machine gun is not unheard of. However, with this muzzle velocity and this magazine size, then everything costs not so much, and how versatile this weapon is extremely impressive. When I decided to cover this weapon, I was looking for a light machine gun which does a little bit better than M250 on close range and M260, and I found it. It's the M240 Bravo. It is hidden, I believe, behind the support LMG achievement, so it might take you a little bit to unlock it because you're gonna have to get the KTS before the M240 Bravo, but once you get this weapon, it's very hard to actually stop playing this gun. I had to force myself to stop playing with it so I could cover other guns as well. You can go much higher on this weapon and unlock all the other attachments that I have mentioned in this video and give it a try. But honestly, I believe that this is the setup. 75 round mag, alloy vertical or the slim angled, and we will also cover the slim angled in this in-game commentary as well. After this defensive round, I will go on attack, and I figured since I'm gonna be playing attackers, I might as well try the slim angled battlefield, and believe me, it didn't disappoint. So I would say when you play on defense, you can stick with the other vertical because mostly you'll be holding down positions, holding down the objectives, just sitting behind your deployable cover. But when you're on attack, you can run the slim angled. You can also just fully run the slim angled if you so like. The time to kill of this weapon on close range is just absolutely impressive. The only other weapon which really contests M240 Bravo in that time to kill department on CQB would be the Tier 7, which has, pretty higher, noticeably higher recoil than the M240 Bravo. And then we have the SW10, the submachine gun, which also has insane time to kill, but it's a submachine gun and it's made for pussies, and we use huge guns on this channel, and M240 Bravo is one of those huge guns. I'm only kidding, of course, but this gun is just so fun to use. That's like the main factor I can describe this gun. This time to kill, the overall kind of reliability of this weapon, the legendary history that it has within the Battlefield franchise. This gun existed in Battlefield 3, in Battlefield 4, although I will say in those games, we did have 200 rounds as default. In Battlefield 6, we definitely got a little bit nerfed when it comes down to, how much we can carry in our light machine guns. So now we have to invest into the magazine sizes, and this all happened, of course, because of RedSec. They wanted to really implement this gunsmith system from Call of Duty and Delta Force inside Battlefield. So, we had to make some sacrifices because of RedSec. Alright, let's talk about some of the weaknesses of this weapon. Like many light machine guns, the reload time on it is absolutely horrible. So when you do have to finally reload the 75 rounds you have, it will be extremely hard to pull it off inside Battlefield 6. The game is extremely chaotic, hectic, the maps are small, so you better be good with your Magnum so you can kill maybe that last 1 or 2 people who are pushing you, or let your teammates enable your reload. Sometimes you just need to have a good team so you can actually go for a reload without 5 people charging you and then you having to deal with them yourself. If you have a good teammate or if you're playing in a squad, then reloading shouldn't be such a problem. But I generally play alone, so having to go for a reload sometimes with the brain dead teammates can be pretty problematic. So I would also highly recommend that you find the sidearm you are very comfortable with. That can be the Magnum, the 1911 is another good option, maybe even the Glock. I don't know, that you're gonna have to find yourself. The other big weakness, as I mentioned during the attachment guide, is the vertical recoil. Trust me, this gun, even with me controlling it, has extreme vertical recoil. It isn't as bad as Tier 7, but you will feel it. So, good firing technique, burst firing, let the spread reset, try to kind of align your sight before you run around the corner, and just try to pull down heavily if you are on mouse as well as on controller. So the vertical recoil is extreme. This is why I mentioned that the barrel attachments that we have covered during the guide, you can put there whatever you want. If you cannot deal with the recoil because of the flash hider or the suppressor, then slam one of those brakes there on and just take the hit of being spotted all the time but having less recoil. This is why I left those muzzle attachments completely open. And that about sums up the M240 Bravo. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then likes and subscriptions are highly appreciated. It will motivate me to do even more guides in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. This is Ace, signing out. Bye bye.